We did not install it, but we have repaired it before. And I see it right over there on the end. Looks like an XL package unit. So he says apparently his blower is not coming on. So let's go find out what's going on and hopefully try to get him some heat. All right. This unit's from 2008. It is an XL model. So a customer said it was making pretty rough noise. So we're going to look at the blower first. Okay, and right off the bat, we can see this thing will move. See right there. So, as happy as I have been many times of how easy it is to pull this blower assembly in and out, we notice that the downside of that is this one screw is not really a whole lot when it comes to holding it in. And also, see the board warped pretty bad. So I would say this is a good mount system as long as everything is smooth and operating well. As soon as you get a blower wheel problem, it's easy to shake apart. Something would give in that case anyway, so let's pull this on out and see what it's going to take to fix it. All right, we got it out here. Looks like the shaft is staying straight. And the wheel is static. A little bit warped. We should have one in the shop, so let's try to get him some heat. All right, so we got him in here up on one of the tables, and I noticed the capacitor is leaking, but it was still running. So I think this thing's going to wind up getting a motor and a wheel, and go stick it back together, and should be okay at that point. So let's find him some parts. I don't have any of these new, although they do have a part number for that. I think this one's probably in pretty good shape, so I'll kind of make that and get that bracket unless I see a better one. I think that one's okay. So let's get him going. All right. these things will cut you. You can usually see where they're slipped or busted loose at or whatever. And about half these are out of the That'll do it. I don't know if you can see that moving. But I believe one swift pop and that whole thing would fall apart. So, let's go find the wheel. We may want to clean this thing up while we got it apart. And this right here is one of my favorite products. This yellow Tub-O towels. It's just a good all around everything. I use them primarily for my hands to, go clean up and put a thermostat up or something like that. Do the other one and go look for a blower wheel in our parts stash. And as we discovered, we have also got one broken arm. Motor mount there. So we'll save that little foot. Use this one to go match one up. Half-horse motor. I'd say that motor caught a hard time from running in there with that wheel all out of balance like that. So let's go find a wheel in one of these brackets. All right, I think we got a blower wheel here. 10.5, 10.5 clockwise. So that'll start getting us somewhere. And Where did I lay that arm? All right. So, there's the arm. So let's get the motor we're going to use, and I'm afraid I'm going to have to put a universal motor in it, but let's go look right quick. Alright, as much as I wish I had a OEM motor, I just don't. So, this is a half-horse reversible, and I'm sure everybody's familiar with them. Not completely crazy about them, but they get okay service out of them. They've done us all right. And I don't know why on a blower motor, knowing there's going to be a blower wheel right here, they put such long studs, and they put them in that way. Just don't get it. But pretty sure the parts manufacturers are going to listen to us about the same amount as the equipment manufacturers do, which is very little. Alright, before we tear up these stickers, we can make sure what we have to do for clockwise. Clockwise we switch them, because it's going to be orange and purple go together, and they've got those separated right now, so it is easy enough to change. And tighten this a little bit so these arms don't fall out every which way. Let's try to sit it up here and adjust it. Set a little bit. Went too far. And they go pretty high on this setup. Keep your blower wheel clearance. And I've had people ask me if I don't measure that or whatever. And you get familiar with your units that you're using, you don't have to really be as dead set on exact measuring. things. Those arms look the same to me. So let's get the housing up here. And put it together thusly. And like I said, we're going to rub this unit here bracket from. And as a habit in the old automotive days, I learned to get them all started and run in a good bit before tightening any of them. And believe it or not, the thread inserts on these plastic housings is pretty tough. I've had these things fly apart in all sort of manners, but I have not had trouble out of that per se. And I'll tell you what, I've seen the white stripe on these on the common side, you know, if you're wiring it all up, or if you're just going to use a 3-wire, you know, just one fan. Like if you've got a dual run capacitor, you can just use the solid brown one to your capacitor. And this is, of course, if you have a separate split capacitor for the motor. And that's the fattest white line I've ever seen on one. It's always a thinner line than that. It covers almost half the wire. Why I would pay any attention to that or notice that, I could not tell you. But I did notice it. And on a plastic housing, especially on a plastic housing, the ground wire is important. So we're going to go ahead and set the direction up on this. I'm going to hook the brown and purple together. Oops, purple and orange together. And brown and yellow. That gives us clockwise. So now let's go ahead and set the, make sure of that. Don't go anywhere. All right. Tell you what, man, those telemarketers, even on Christmas Eve, chasing business. Beautiful. Pretty good. All right. So obviously we're not going to need this much wire. Let's go get us a 7.5 for that. All right. USA. Supposedly. See, 7.5. These wires are a little bit longer than we're going to need. But rather than cut them and lose that nice, somewhat so-called factory crimped in, I'm just going to zip tie them in here like that. So the yellow we will run here along with the common from the unit. We will cap what we're not using. We're going to greatly shorten all those and prepare it a little bit, and then we'll finish it up in the field over there. All right, so I'm going to slip it back in there. Sounds like you guys got a blower in the backyard wide open. Can't hear myself think. I should have it running in just a minute. All right, I put one of these back in the other day, and I stuck an extra screw right there. And then I got to looking at this and realized I'd really rather have it back there. So I stuck that bit tip screw back there. I guess you can see it. And then the factory one here. Hopefully that'll be a little better, so let's get it wired up. Dang, even in the wintertime. He's moving awful slow. I don't think he's full force. I don't believe he flew. I believe he just flew. Pretty smooth. And this one doesn't have dry leads out here. These wet ones really suck up into them. So let's get her buttoned up. All right, we got all the screws back in it, and it's running nice and smooth, and everything should be okay here. Like I say, we did not install it, but it's not a bad